Our theme today is about building a sustainable future through innovation and resilience. Sustainable or sustainability, innovation, and resilience. I know that these words are not new to you, as every other person you meet talks about these things, particularly in relation to climate change. But today, we are not going to talk about the weather. We are going to talk about these ideals and the mindset needed to achieve them in building the future that you envision for yourself and your family. Let's talk about sustainability first. In less than 2 weeks from now, I will be celebrating my 50th year in the workforce. I started as a cadet engineer, and I am now the president of Jack-Built Industries, Inc. Over that period, I have worked in 4 different companies and held top management positions in all of them. My experience covers the timber and paper industries, ceramic tiles, paints, precast concrete, and construction. Sustainability, of course, is not just about careers. It covers your family, achieving sustained happiness in your family, your relevance to the community, as all of us live with other people, and your development as a person created by God in His own image. But today, I will limit my talk on sustainability as it applies to your professional career. The lessons I am going to share with you today are drawn from my experience. After all, hindsight, they say, is 20/20. Lesson number 1. Knowledge is more valuable than money. Nobody will probably argue with me on this principle, but very few follows this in practice. Let me illustrate. Let's say you are an engineer faced with a choice between 2 job offers. One as a call center agent that pays 25,000 pesos a month, and another as a cadet engineer that pays only 15,000 a month. Which job will you take? Probably that of the high-paying job, right? Now consider this. In the last 4 years that you were in college, you paid a minimum of 100,000 a semester. That's roughly 20,000 a month of expenditure for you to earn your degree. In a cadetship program, the new hires, usually fresh graduates, undergo a 6-month training program to deepen their understanding of what they have learned in school. and teach them new skills like problem solving and decision making. These are necessary because the company wants you to be effective in your work. In the first 6 months, therefore, a cadet engineer actually receives new knowledge and skills worth at least 20,000 a month. And in addition, gets 15,000 pesos in basic salary. Not many people see or realize this. The main driving force of a successful career is the quest for knowledge, not money, especially in your first 5 years. Think of this as a period of a continuation of your education. But instead of paying for it, you acquire them and get paid for it. The motivational value of money is short-lived. No sooner than when you get it, it's gone, leaving you feeling it's never enough. You'll end up frequently moving from one company to another, constantly looking for a better offer. You may even look for jobs abroad, not counting the cost of being away from your family. It might interest you to know that many professionals from the Americas and Europe are actually flocking to our country because this is where the new economy is booming. To see fresh graduates or even those with a little experience going abroad saddens me because that means they have not seen the potential of staying and learning and earning in their own country. Knowledge, on the other hand, stays with you and grows with you. It builds self-esteem and increases your value. And it is tax-free. The more you know, the better will be your pay. Often without you asking for it. Some people refer to this as experience. However, experience should not be confused with tenure. 10 years of doing the same thing does not equate to 10 years experience. It is 1 year experience repeated 10 times. It is the knowledge that you accumulate over the years that gives experience its value. Before I became a supervisor, the entry point to management, I learned principles in work methods and work measurements, problem analysis and decision making, budgeting and cost accounting, how to produce hydrochloric acid and sodium hypochlorite from salt, and operate a 7-effects evaporator the size of a 5-story building. Higher management positions quickly followed in succession as my knowledge expanded to corporate planning, sales and marketing, and of course, management. I became a corporate officer 12 years after I joined the company. Soon after, my job brought me to the company's headquarters in Manila. I went back to school and took up strategic business economics because I wanted to learn how the economies of the nation work. I am a chemical engineer, but I can give detailed instructions to mechanical, electrical, and electronics engineers, and can discuss construction issues and problems with civil engineers. I won't be able to manage and grow the company that I am now running for 20 years now otherwise. Lesson number 2. Knowledge is meant to be shared. People tend to keep what they know to themselves, thinking that it will give them an edge. On the contrary, they end up doing the same thing for years because nobody else can do it. No company will promote you doing the same things. If you want to go up the corporate ladder, you must do the opposite and teach another person what you know, so you can learn new and hopefully things of higher value and importance to the company. If you are an accountant, for example, and you want to be an accounting manager, you must first train a person who can replace you. That's the only way you can move up. So these 2 lessons tells us that sustainability requires constant learning and teaching what you learn. Let's talk about innovation. One of my pet peeves is when I ask somebody why he does things the way he does, and he would answer, he's just following how the person before him did it. That, my friends, is the opposite of innovation. So let's go to lesson number 3. There is always a better way. I learned this as a cadet engineer and made it my motto ever since, and it has served me well. It has a twin, and it's called Go Beyond the 9 Dots. In today's language, think outside of the box. To be able to apply this, however, you must practice lessons 1 and 2, which will lead you to a discipline called critical thinking, or the kind of thinking in which you question, analyze, evaluate, and make judgment on how things work and what purpose they serve. It means the ability to break down complex systems in smaller components and bring them all together, or not, into a better working new model. The attitude requires the determination and the discipline to always look for improvement in the things you see and do. It requires continuous learning. It constantly challenges status quo and believe that change is the only constant in the world, in addition to death and taxes, of course. Lesson number 4. Success can be the enemy of innovation. Sitting on one's laurels leads to complacency. Complacency leads to stagnation and reversion to mediocrity. Success, therefore, is a danger that an innovator must guard against. Believing that there is always a better way means even the best can be made better. Because the environment and the technology and the information around you evolves daily and at a very rapid pace in our age. Some of you are perhaps thinking that I must have had an easy life growing up. Truth is, I came from a poor family. Both my parents were high school graduates. My father's income as a warehouseman was just enough to get us 7 children by. At the age of 9, I learned how to plant, harvest, and pound the rice that we ate. During my elementary years, I sold rice cakes, bananas, boiled eggs, or anything that my mother can get her hands on to help our family make both ends meet. In high school, I sold pandesal, newspapers and magazine, and shined shoes. My father begged his sister to help me go through college, and it was through her help and my scholarship for graduating valedictorian in high school and in elementary, and my salary and my small salary as a math assistant from 3rd year to 4th to 5th year, that I was able to graduate as BSCE in FEATI University. Which brings me to the last topic, resilience, which means the ability to withstand and recover quickly from difficulties. You see, in my case, I never took these hardships as handicaps because many of my friends were on the same boat. We thought we were all typical, normal, and the ones who had money were abnormal. In fact, I attribute my high tolerance for pain and difficulty for the life that I had growing up. As the eldest son, I also knew that my parents were counting on me to improve the lot of the family. Lesson number 4, facing difficulties head-on and owning the responsibility to overcome them will get you out of the rut, no matter how deep it is. The opposite of this is blaming others for your situation and having this victim mentality. When you do this, you lose all initiative to get yourself out of misery. Because in your mind, it's not your fault. Somebody else has to be blamed. Unfortunately, this is a common attitude that we must all avoid. Truth be told, I'm a little bit worried about your generation. You see, I also have my youngest son, is about 10 years older than you. But I saw already that the system and environment in which he grew up was different from what I had. I understand now people don't fail anymore. Everybody moves up from one level to another. Everybody moving up gets a medal for different skills and specialty and attributes that they're supposed to have. I know that the intention is good, but I think it has also taken the competitive edge among the young people today. And the wrong expectation that life is easy, and when you fail, all you have to do is reset the computer. I hope you will overcome this. I hope you have not acquired this kind of value, because you will find out as soon as you get from the doors of the university that the world is not perfect, that there are people better than you, but you still have to do your best. In recent years, I'm already going off script here, I had a chance to learn more about our school, our alma mater. I must admit that for a long while, I have kept my distance as I was preoccupied with many things. But what I saw gives me a good feeling that despite all the challenges that the university is facing, it has the resolve to get back and get better. That is resiliency. Of course, we are all called to do our bit, to do our help. Probably not much from you, as you will be busy carving your own career right after this graduation. But mostly, to my batchmates, to people who have graduated and benefited from the school, I think it's time to give back. Congratulations to the graduates of 2024, and keep on learning. Thank you.